the 10 a.m. series today with Manuel Rossner. Manuel Rossner is the first artist of many, I hope, in the series The Artist is Online, which is sort of a group show, but also an ongoing exhibition. Annika Meyer co-curated with me, or actually she's more on the front than I am, but we did it together, or we're doing it together. Please follow her on @Annika on Instagram. And Manuel Rossner built a virtual gallery. So we have König London, Berlin, Tokyo, and now we have König Digital. The space kind of orientates on our space here we are in right now, but it's also a virtual space. The reason it is, it's not a replication of the original space. It is a virtually built space, kind of based on the original, but then extended. And so I think the best is, we're going to talk to him in a bit, but the best is so I haven't installed it myself here, so we do it this way. We go on I hope there's not any adultery here or anything. So we go on the App Store and then we type in K. Oh man, that's kind of tricky to navigate. König. It's interesting. So we are quite international and now even digital, but we stick to our König Galerie. We stick to our. That's it. Oh no, that's Entwickler. Who would have that thought? Let's the release. So here we go. Here you see. So the church is the original building, and this is the environment you see it in. And Manuel added this part. That's a view into the inside, and we have 4.9 ratings of 22 ratings. That's not so bad. I would be very thankful if you would rate the app, if you like it. Give us an honest opinion. Since maybe we do it like anyway, you can read it yourself. And now we download it. Oh, it's not so easy to control this via. And it's orientated. Actually, in the meanwhile, I should read it. Since 2015, St. Agnes has served as the main exhibition space of König Galerie. St. Agnes is a monumental former church built in the heart of Berlin from 1964 to 1967 by German architect Werner Düttmann, considered to be one of the most iconic examples of brutalist architecture in Germany. The building boasts massive concrete blocks and exposed surfaces that reveal the grain of the wooden formwork. The entire St. Agnes complex, with its former community center, parish apartments and sacristy, was redeveloped and transformed into an art space by architect Arno Brandl-Huber, amongst others. Surprisingly, this rather works. This is the title of Manuel Rossner's artwork by artist Manuel Rossner. Is a spatial intervention of St. Agnes König Galerie and at the same time a virtual extension of its exterior. The entire gallery is transformed into a gaming environment inspired by the 1990s game show American Gladiators, and so-called gyms that are used to cutting-edge research in artificial intelligence by companies such as OpenAI in San Francisco. Accompanied to this exhibition series, Annika Meyer and I started a conversation series which we just announced, and which is exploring and researching the novelties of digital art, I would say, and also we're talking to the person who formed the term post-internet art and so on. The visitors turn into an avatar and interact with objects that are part of a parcours. These objects broaden the perspective on what painting and sculpture can be in the digital realm. So, yeah, let's look. I hope it's done now. Öffnen, here we go. Okay, I use the time efficiently. So, that's me now. And here you kind of see the breathing. No sound yet, I guess. Okay. So, and now, I mean, I can't do it while so you can jump, you see. We look around here. And then it says, surprisingly, this rather works. And then we can walk and smash around. Oh, now the sound started. Oh. Okay, not so easy to control with one hand. Oh, here you see, maybe let me make it a bit quieter. So that's a painting now. Here. So, and then pretty amazing is that you can then walk here into the, you have to kind of negate, you need two hands to do that, but at least I can show you a little, because that's, I'm so fascinated by, you can walk into the staircase. So, and these are like digital sculptures. Anyway, this gives you a quick idea. You need to download it yourself and explore it. We're gonna mount more exhibition. That's like the first solo show. And it's not what we also just launched, this 3D walkthrough. Actually, I should go in the other direction because then you can see what I mean, because he extended the existing architecture with new architecture he built with kind of like these bubbles. And we also just launched the digital walkthrough, but that's just photos, you know, it's like thousands of photos, and then you can walk around in the reality, but it's a replication of the reality. This here is a virtual, here you see, it's a virtual continuation of the reality. So it's a big difference, because this is based on the real drawings, but he rebuilt it. So let's see if we can find Manuel, so he can explain us a little bit himself. I need a phone stand. Manuel Rossner, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
Good. How was my explanation so far?
I think it's great. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, it's very fine. Nice.
So tell us how did you do this, and what's your background? You're an artist from Switzerland?
No, I'm not from Switzerland. I'm an artist. I studied at art school in Offenbach.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Heiner Blum and Alex Oppermann, and I
Heiner
graduated.
Blum, I know Heiner Blum very well from my old back then in when I kind of was like also half gear. I know, of course. Why do I think you're Swiss?
I did an exhibition in Switzerland recently, in Zurich for Galerie. Maybe that's why. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So.
Yeah, well, then I was always also before studying art, I was like playing with my friends, like gaming. But I was also always more interested in like building my own stuff and trying to what's possible instead of just being the player inside there. And so, yeah, when I went to art school, I quite quickly returned to those digital tools. And then since almost 10 years now, I'm working on like virtual exhibitions and things like that. And I'm really very happy that we were able to do this project together. I think it's really, really a good outcome also.
So tell me that what we are looking at now, this is based on the real actual plannings, right? You transformed it into a 3D simulation?
Yes, actually, that was when we first started planning it for VR exhibition. I started working on it in December, and I really spent the day in the tower. It was pretty cold, and measured every little piece of it. And so later I was able to create this game, or game/exhibition, which is happening in there right now. Yes.
And what are these? This yellow element? It's a sculpture.
Yes, that's a sculpture. Yeah.
And what are these here? These indicators?
They are inspired by like crash tests, where you know the high contrast of black and white. It allows for cameras to find out where this kind of marker is. So it's better for analyzing the images later.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And you added then aesthetic decisions like this, that there's light here, because usually there's no light.
Yeah, true. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I had to think of a light source, and I like this very clear, almost scientific light feeling, which is really, really strong, but also like completely white. Yeah.
And where this is in the library of the program? Can you choose some decors like concrete?
No, this one was taken really in the gallery. So I took a photo, and then I tried to make it seamless. So when you put one photo next to the other, that there's no like seam where the light changes, and then it's possible to put it all over the gallery, and then it will be like a real. It will look like a real wall and something like that.
But you also could, I don't know, change it with one click into purple.
Yeah, of course I could do that, yeah. I mean, here we have also the structure, which is very important. It's even better visible in the installation shots. So I think in the gallery, it's really important to have this haptics of the material. But yeah, it's easy to change the colors also. That's why also the other objects, they all have these different kind of colors. They even are assigned, like in theory, more or less randomly. Of course, I chose them for which ones suit better in the place where they are. But yeah, such changes are super quick. Yeah.
And how do you feel? Because I'm still kind of unsure, because this is going to be our future König Digital. We have König Tokyo, London, Berlin. Now we have König Digital. We're going to use that space for other exhibitions. But I'm still kind of unsure if it's the right thing to rebuild a space. I think the good reason to do it so is the reason to go into the future along something, along the present probably. But I mean, the amazing thing with virtual space is that it offers unlimited possibilities, right? Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I this is already a big gallery space. You know, in the virtual space, it could be much bigger, easily.
Definitely, yeah.
So, but then maybe in the future we're going to see what modifications we do. So, but this is a sculpture here, right, of yours?
Yes, yeah.
And this one as well.
Yeah, true.
And the music? Who did the music?
Heimer, yeah. Thanks for the music, Heimer. You can find him linked in the posts.
Oh wow!
His Instagram is Heimer.
Around the sculptures here.
Of course, yeah. Why not? Finally, you know.
So did I just eat the sculpture?
No, I think you pushed it out of the screen, but maybe we're gonna do a version where you can bite into it as well.
And so here, this is another one. It's not so easy to do this with one, especially in my generation. You know, I'm not a native, so I push.
Oh, I can also.
Oh,
I can also show
oh,
it
what
on my
happened?
screen if you like. Yeah, I mean the thing is, on the one hand, you can push it over and it's going to fall down, and I mean in reality it would be very expensive for you. But in this case, I
Yeah,
wrote a
please don't do
script
that.
which will reset it every 5 seconds. So you drop it, and then it will be back. So no worries.
And this one is my take, myself, you.
You take my self-control. Yeah, that's a lyric from this '80s song, which I was inspired by because yeah, this idea of self-control and technology, and you are playing this character right now and controlling him, but in the same way, I, as the creator of the space, I'm also kind of taking your self-control because I'm like, you can do this and you cannot do that, so I can also decide for you what possibilities you have in this kind of space.
And who is this? Who is this? Like, where did you get this figure? You created that figure?
No, I didn't. It's actually, you can get it online because there are so many people working in these kind of things. There's a huge exchange of assets. So you don't have to do everything by yourself. And yeah, so you can get it online. And I also like the idea of having something a bit universal. So everybody is represented in the same way, which is an idea of equality, maybe even.
So, and now this guy here, he's looking at this blue painting, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. And your work also usually looks like this? Like these, like, artificial... I think the color is because of it's coming from coding, right? These different colors.
Yes, true. Yeah, in coding, when something is complex and you try to give it sometimes a different color so you can understand what it's used for. For example, if you have a self-driving car, it will analyze the images and give a color or give actually an ID or something to a person and a child and maybe something like a plant, and so it can decide which one is more important, and it will show this to you if you look at it through the colors. And yeah, the sculptures, they are like paintings I did in virtual reality. So I made this model of the gallery. I made it pretty small, and then I was in there with my hands, and I've been drawing this, like this one. This is a print. It's also similar to that. And then the
And
computer
behind
makes
you.
yes.
Yeah. So this
And then the
your
computer makes a form of it.
so your usual practice looks like this, and these are not artworks here. These are more wait, these are more like interventions. Here I
The rocks, you mean?
no, this one is this a sculpture
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, it's also a sculpture. Yeah, this one is not drawn, but it's rather the objects are moved by a script which I wrote, and also the rocks are part of it. They are kind of linking the objects as well, and I like
here
to have
you
this
kind
kind
of
of
did
natural
this is
feeling.
like a destructed space. I mean, this is like the gallery space, but as if it was like ruined or something, no?
Yeah, it's kind of a rocky structure that you might find in close to a beach or something. But it also looks similar to the gallery's material. Yeah. So we have
Yeah,
this double
concrete.
representation of concrete. Yeah. And here I
And
thought, I hope you're okay with this. I made a little crack in your ceiling
totally,
or
yeah, yeah,
floor.
no, I love it. And tell me, where's this American Gladiators connection coming from?
Oh yeah, yeah. When I was working on the piece, I thought, okay, I'm interested in making a game. I'm also wondering what it could look like. And then I saw or remember the structures from American Gladiators that I was kind of inspired by as a teenager already. And now I got back to it, and it's really really fun to see. And also this idea of like the human body is treated there as also a part of this whole game and this challenging situation where you have to compete with the gladiators.
But it's a single user game, right? You can't be with other people together in this app.
At the moment, no. But
No.
I've also been working on multiplayer things, and that's definitely something that we can follow and think about, because it would also be fun to meet and compete, maybe, or play together with others, or collaborate even.
Now. So
If you like, I can also share my screen so you.
Yeah, please.
This one, right?
So because then
So
for those, I don't know if you see it now, but it continues like over and over. You can go up the sky, and then you can come into the breathing architecture we showed you before. And how's it with the music? Sometimes it appears, and then it depends on where you stand, right?
yeah, I was also wondering because what I like about it is that it's somewhere in between a game and an exhibition, and there were certain decisions that I took to make it more like a game and to make it more like an exhibition. And so in the ground floor, in the center, there's no music, so you can have a look at the sculptures like usually in an exhibition. But then upstairs, which you can see in the video now, there's really this fancy kind of music. And yeah, because that also transcends usual reality, and then there's this push into immersion also.
Okay. Yeah, you wanna. It's really difficult to play with one finger. Oh no,
Yeah,
I'm
don't
not.
worry.
But you're not.
But it's
dying,
also
right?
addictive,
Oh,
isn't
no.
it?
It's super addictive. Totally addictive.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. Now we look at your screen. Yes. Let me see.
Yeah. It's also running there. I have this is a recording actually, but it's more comfortable too. Yeah.
How can you share the screen while speak? Oh, no, you're filming it right now, right?
Yeah, I just put a camera on my laptop.
So the yellow sculpture, and how can we sell these sculptures now?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's always the question, because I'm also like pushing the limit to say, is it really necessary to produce those things? Because for the bubbles, especially the animated version, I think that's not possible. But I think for those ones or the blue painting, it would be interesting. Because,
but how would it work? Like we acquired, and then I can only see it through my screen, like in VR. Now, how you call it, augmented reality in my apartment, or?
Yeah, on the one hand, that would be possible, yeah. But on the other hand, also like physical objects would be interesting, I think, or both maybe. We can you can think about, because of course there's the question, why bring it into a physical space? But then I would say, us as humans, we still are in this kind of reality. And for me as an artist, because I'm working since 8 years or 10 years on this kind of things, and it's super intangible, but it would also be nice to be in the same reality like the objects that I'm making. So that might also be a direction to go.
So now we are in your new building, in my new wing, right? Now we are in the digital wing, so to speak.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Kiesler. You know, the Endless House by Kiesler?
Ah, yeah, with a kind of bubble-like structure.
Yeah, where you can like
Dome-like.
box out when you need more space. You just box it out. Your where are we now? We're back downstairs.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it started again. Yeah, he had this idea of the endless house, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's a good thought. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe something also interesting to note is that, you know, your computer, to make it look realistic, it produces like 30 to 60 images per second. So this is rebuilt every 60th of a second. So it's super dynamic. You can increase the size of the space like without people even noticing.
Can I look out?
At the moment, not really. You can look through the windows,
but nothing is there.
Yeah, it's just bright or white.
But so I am right when I say it's not. It's very different to this new thing we just launched, where you can walk through the photograph space. Right? There's not really. It doesn't really have much in common. One is a digital construction, and the other one is a reproduction of the reality.
Yeah, the point of departure is the huge difference, because, of course, for the reproduction, for the 360 reproduction, you go to the space and then rebuild it. But when I start from a blank screen, and then I decided to recreate a space. But that's no necessity at all. I just find it really handy to start with it. But it starts from nothing, and then you decide what you're doing. And I can also change the exhibitions and make new stuff, new exhibitions, new work for this space.
What is this here?
The metal structure, you mean?
Yeah.
This is those kind of event lightning rigs
But you invented
where you
it,
can
right?
put lights on.
You just choose that aesthetic.
Yeah, I chose the aesthetic. Yeah, it's similar to what you have in concert halls.
Yeah. Or like because you need kind of this hanging to put it there.
Genau, yeah. I needed this kind of, or I wanted this kind of light, and so I chose to use this structure to put it there. Yes.
And do you change ever the lighting? It's always daylight in the internet.
24/7, isn't it? I mean, I could change the light, but I also really like the mix of lighting that you have in a gallery with natural light and artificial light.
Cool. Let me see. I think there's some questions here. It will be great to see for real. No, but that's the point. You see it for real. Oh, you mean the sculptures? Because that's also virtual is real, right? What's real? What's virtual? What's the difference anyway?
True. Yeah. Yeah.
You use Unreal.
Unity. Unreal is a software to explain, and there's Unreal and Unity.
Ah, yeah. Okay. And then 1967. What's with
Yes.
1967? Video game anxiety. Okay, not so many questions. Lots of comments.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Can the user change the colors? No.
At the moment, not. No.
No. And also not the avatar, right?
No.
But also, it's not planned to change the colors, right?
No, I mean, at the moment, I decided for them.
I mean, something like this is about, I don't know if we want to say that, but it's expensive, relatively.
Yeah, I mean, the production of video games, which it oftentimes exceeds the cost of Hollywood blockbusters. But on the other hand, it's also not like a 60-hour game. It's a small one, so yeah.
I don't really understand this entire. What is your work for? No, I mean, it's like as every contemporary art work is for, right? Like contributing to the discussion.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I'm super excited about this idea of a space that can be treated in this way, and yeah, it's like you have to work.
Where's the Easter egg?
Yeah, that's a challenge. I mean, there's Easter egg in the game, and it's something from gaming culture. It's a hidden object that I put there that you can only find if you really are lucky or really look for it very hardly. I think we're gonna reveal that soon.
Is it okay? Okay. Then possible to work on a tactile experience in future on future somehow?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, as an artist, I try to make use of the possibilities that current software is offering me, and I think a lot of people are working on this tactile and haptics simulations, and I think it would be really interesting to integrate that in the future, definitely.
Is it a challenge to sell this work? Yeah, of course we want to sell this. I mean, maybe not individual work, but I think we're gonna go on the flow. No, Manuel, what do you think? We have to see how we have to do it, then we have to communicate it, have to understand ourselves what is it, and then we have to see how we can market it.
Yeah, I mean, I think as it's also possible to also performance and very conceptual art found its way, and I think this is in some ways similar to that, isn't it?
How have you sold work so far? Prints?
No, I didn't sell prints. I mean, in recent years I've been working on commissions from museums like MDBK Leipzig. I had a solo show, and Frankfurter Kunstverein. I was in a group show.
Can I see the work?
That's how I was
saw
able
that
to.
show. That was an amazing show. I saw that show. It was great to walk on that plank from these 80s artists. Can we see the print again behind your in real life?
Of course, yeah. Can you see it?
So that you fix that size?
Sorry?
It's one size in one print run?
Yeah, this is actually, it's rather a test for myself. So I did an exhibition in KM in Graz, and there I also did a huge sculpture, which is the same size as this, but this is only a cutout to see what it looks like when it's printed, because of course screens usually aren't that big, so I can't really show this. On the other hand, it's really cool to see the virtual reality version, because then you really get a sense of how these things look. And this is just a test print more or less, but yeah, maybe also good for an edition. I don't know.
Is the game online now that we can engage with? And sorry, but it said in, I can't see the full question.
Yeah. The game is online now. You can find it on the App Store when you search for König Galerie. And if you like to try it on Android, we're still working on it, but there's a version. So if you want, you can send us a message and we're going to send you the link.
I like to touch analog.
Yeah, I mean, me too. It's always like, I also don't want to replace the haptic, the real experience, but on the other hand, there's things that are not possible there, and so for me it's interesting to find a path to merge these two.
Cool, Manuel, thank you. Oh no, one last thing, there's also the possibility to experience this in virtual reality, right?
True, yeah, I'm working on that.
How's that gonna work then? It's like the same, you just move around with a cursor?
No, then you will have the glasses. You will stand in a gallery, which is going to be pretty convincing, I guess. So you will feel a bit more like being in St. Agnes, and then you will have the controller to play with a little white guy. I can show you. Ui. So this is the glasses that I'm using. It's Oculus Quest, or maybe another one. Yeah. And then you put it on and try that. Yeah. Yeah, you should really try that, because it's different from the game. It's even more intense and immersive, the experience.
Is there an Oculus Rift App Store already available to experience it?
No, not yet. We focused on the app because it's cool to see the virtual reality evolve, but there's still less people having headsets at home.
No, but there is. I mean, not if it's available, but there is one already where you can download content.
Yeah, too. Yeah, that exists.
It is existing already, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So I guess then we're going to be the first art gallery which is present there.
Yeah. I mean, you can, from projects that I did like earlier on, they are on Steam if somebody has Vive headset. But I think, yeah, that's cool.
Cool. Yeah, thank you so much. I think, is there another question? I think that's it more or less. So Manuel, thank you so much. Thanks for the collaboration. And everybody look out for the upcoming talks we have with myself as well as with Annika Meyer coming up in the next weeks, and also other future shows coming in the König Digital. Manuel, thank you so much, and see you soon.
Thank you, Johan.
Ciao.
Great.